separated your deep ball from everybody else?
My deep ball, it has a little secret sauce to it, man.
Never get too high, never get too low, but just keep moving.
The whole story is Carlos never beat me in any kind of sports in high school.
One thing that I wanted to talk about, Hobbs, is sometimes a lot of people think that you aren't super critical about the Bengals, but I have heard when you first started, it was the exact opposite. I heard that, you were very critical of the Bengals. How do you feel about people that say that about you, that you're just giving out lip service from wherever it's coming from? Because I've been told that wasn't the case when you first started.
Yeah, I'll tell you what I told people 20 years ago when I took the job, 21 years ago now, 21 years ago next week. Trying to cover the team the best way I can, obviously I work for the team, but I try to tell both sides of the story. I mean, everybody's got an opinion on what their side of the story is, and that's fine. I just try to write what I see and get every tell their side. I mean, when I took the job, Mike Brown said, "I just want our side of the story out there." Well, it's his website, so sure, you probably put his side. I like to try to cover it from both angles. I mean, it's not what I'm trying to cover what they're doing. I'm trying to cover how they're thinking about the draft. I'm trying to cover who they think is good. Who cares what I think about Penny Sewell? I don't. Who cares what I think about Penny Sewell? I want to know what Frank Pollock thinks about Penny Sewell. I want to know what Steve Radicevic thinks about Penny Sewell or Duke Tobin. Now they don't tell you, but you got to work to try and find out what it is. I mean, who cares what I think about Jamar Chase?
I care, Jeff. I care.
I'm not making the pick. You know what I mean?
But I care. Based on your 21 years with the team, knowing what works, knowing what doesn't work, people value your opinion. And I think and no matter how, and I understand your perspective, because it's not up to you to figure out ways to criticize or figure out ways on why something doesn't work when it's not your business. It's your job to cover it, right?
Right.
But based off of your experience, is Penny Sewell the person that you would take at number 5?
I mean, I would, because I'm an offensive line guy. But geez, I don't know that's my personal preference, but I mean, I'm not making the call, and it's certainly no shot at Jamar Chase, who is, I talked to Kevin Coyle, who's the old Bengals secondary coach, who, is now a defensive analyst at LSU, and saw Chase every day. I mean, he loves the guy. After talking to, he says he's a can't miss guy, who knows?
You're looking at captain. You're looking at the captain of Team Chase.
Captain of Team Chase. I know this. The Civil War is raging, and you guys had Fort Sumter, I guess, last week.
Right, right.
I just don't want to be around for Gettysburg.
So you mean to tell you're not on Team Sewell Part 2, because that's coming.
Well, I'm just going to cover Appomattox. I'm just going to cover the end of it. I'm just going to cover the end of it. But yeah, you've been there. You guys have seen this team. You know when this team is at its best. Right. It's when Levi Jones was at left. It's when Willie Anderson was at right. It's when Whitworth was at left. It's when Andre Smith was at right. Okay, that's why Carson Palmer was able to come in and make an impact. Levi Jones on the left, Willie Anderson on the right. It's why Andy Dalton and A.J. Green were able to. That was a mess in 2011, right? There was a lockout. Dalton and Green never saw the coach and couldn't talk to the coach. Never mind having a COVID test. They couldn't talk to the coaches. At least these guys could do a Zoom call. Green and Dalton, right? They walk in and they go 9-7. Why? Whitworth on the left, Smith on the right. So that's one of the big reasons. So personally, from what I've seen, I was at the tail end of their run in 90 and 91 and 92. And when they didn't have Munoz and when they didn't have Joe Walter, things started to turn. So, yeah, put me down for Sewell, I guess.